Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Debbie and I've been a florist for 48 years. In this demonstration, I'll be sharing with you how to create a stunning hand-tied bouquet with a focus on the beautiful Snapdragons. Now this one is animation orange. Now Snapdragons are also known as antirrhinums. They're loved for their unique dragon-shaped blooms that open and squeeze when you squeeze the edges of the bloom together. They come in a wide range of vibrant colours and they add height and texture to any design that you create. So they're perfect for making eye-catching bouquets that make a statement, and refer to our previous video for care and conditioning tips. So I have today this beautiful selection of flowers that I'm going to put together. I have celosia, spray carnations, lysimachia and the Snapdragon animation orange, some craspedia, sunflowers and some pittosporum elan. My tools are very simple for this design, just scissors, twine and 12mm anchor tape. Now I would suggest that hand-tied bouquets are one of the most requested floral designs. They tend to be really versatile and suitable for many occasions. Quite often, if you're going out for dinner or want to take a gift and you know that the hostess is going to be very, very busy, then taking one that's arranged in water alleviates the necessity for a vase. So and if you take it as a thank you bouquet, so for a wedding or something similar to that, as they're in water, the recipient doesn't have to worry about finding a vase if they're staying in a hotel overnight. So they're very versatile. They can also be dismantled if you want them to be, and placed into a vase once the recipient gets them home. They're also really good to provide a cash and carry design to offer for prospective customers, especially at peak periods. If you can get some made up in advance so it literally can just be carried out of the door, it's going to save you time in creating. So I've made a frame of foliage with the pittosporum elan, and my first flower is my Snapdragon, which I'm placing right in the centre of the design. Okay, now ideally you need to keep those stems in a spiral format, and that's one of the key elements in making this design. So it's essential as a florist that you have that skill in your arsenal. Okay, so you could make these up in advance, store them somewhere nice and cool, provided the environment is dry and the design is well hydrated. So as I place the stems, you can see we're maintaining that spiral shape, and we want to create that as we move through and around the arrangement. If you use the previous placement as almost a support, if you like, for your next bloom, and then that helps to create that spiral. So if you can see what I mean, the previous placement is there, place that one next to it, and then that in effect holds it in position. So continuing around. Now I've placed the second sunflower opposite the antirrhinum because it actually helps to emphasize it. Because the sunflowers are that bit brighter, your eye automatically goes to those. So as it goes to the center point, it will pick up on your Snapdragon and start to add some more in. I'm twisting the stems as I go along. If you are slightly less confident in the placements, you can use string to bind as you go along, and if you feel the need to stop, tie the string and lay the bouquet down and reassess it, then you can. But it's always a good plan to hold the bouquet away from yourself so you can see how it's developing. I'm tucking that one in between those blooms, but still keeping the spiral, as you can see. I've elevated the antirrhinums, so because they're elevated, the other flowers are recessed. So these are our highlight, and these are our focals. So where possible, leave the stems as long as you can, providing they have access to a water source. I mean, this gives perceived value to your customer. I mean, they've paid for the whole stem, so make sure they receive it. As a general rule of thumb, the longer the stems, the more expensive they tend to be, and especially with roses, the larger the heads. So bear this all in mind. You know, when a customer's paid for 70 centimetre stem lengths on their blooms for the best grade, don't cut them down to 50 or 40, because it takes off the value instantly. And as I say, you can see you're still getting those spiral stems. And theoretically, where we've made our tying point is where the neck of the vase will be. So usually you tend to have your flowers as 2/3 of the overall design. It doesn't always follow when you're using a hand-tied bouquet. You may well have a waisted vase. By that I mean an hourglass vase, and you want this part of the tying point to sit in that waisted area. So just bear that in mind when you create the design. When the customer carries it away and puts it into a vase themselves, they need to have the flexibility to cut the stems to fit their vase. Slightly. Now, one of the big advantages of not tying the stems as you progress through the creation of the design is that you have the flexibility to move stems up and down before you've tied them together. So as with the antirrhinums, the craspedia that I'm using is quite small. Oops. So again, elevating that helps you to identify it within the construction. I'll show you what I mean by that. So by bringing the craspedia still lower than the Snapdragons, because you want those to feature, but by bringing them up higher you see them. If you then place them down low into the design, you can see they disappear. So it's all about the customer being able to identify the flowers that they've received and offering good value for money so that they know that they've got value in what they've paid. And then my last spray carnation, as you can see, I've got a natural gap here or here that requires the white spray carnation, so I'm popping that in there. And we've kept the spirals, so a nice point where the stems meet, and it doesn't travel up and down, so it's nice and comfortable to hold. I'm just going to tie the stems together with green twine. I'm going to lay that down on my bench while I just tie that off. And then to finish the stems, cover up my mechanics and to offer more stability, I'm going to cover that tying point with my anchor tape. It's just 12mm anchor tape. And what you find sometimes, if it's just twine that you use, if you put the stems down into a vase, they will move. By having the twine, it holds having the tape, it holds everything together, adds more security, and keeps it nice and clean and defined. Now, don't forget to add, if you want to, gift wrapping, a card, care instructions and suitable flower food, and importantly, your branding. There's nothing more effective than word of mouth marketing. So a little card with handcrafted by and then your name just makes it more personalised for that customer. And there you have it, our beautiful hand-tied bouquet featuring the vibrant Snapdragons. Thank you so much for watching this demonstration with me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Mastering the hand-tied bouquet is an essential skill for any flower enthusiast. I would even go as far as to say it's a fundamental technique that serves as a foundation for more advanced floral designs and arrangements. So whether you're creating a simple gift for a loved one or planning more elaborate floral displays, knowing how to craft a hand-tied bouquet will always come in handy. Now, if you found this tutorial useful, please hit that like button, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more floral tips and flower inspiration for upcoming events. Until the next time, keep blooming and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.